Hey guys, thank you for coming back to another video. If you're new to my channel, my name's Maureen, Palmersheim, and I am trying to write a novel. My last video was about my main character, Laine, and today I'm going to talk a little bit more about her and her, I guess the beginning part of the novel. So, in the beginning, Laine is walking around Lake Como, where she's from, in Montana, and her relative from Ireland named Jerry comes to visit her, and together they're walking around the lake. Laine's mom is, well, she kind of is trying to set Laine up with Jerry as kind of like, I don't know, almost like an arranged marriage. And Laine doesn't really have many friends, so she's kind of just going along to have some interaction, have someone to talk to. And Jerry and her have a lot in common because he's like an archaeology professor, and she's really into ancient stories, ancient Ireland and ancient Rome. So they definitely have a lot in common. And anyway, when they're on the trail, Laine, she has a really big imagination, so she sort of just imagines that she kind of inhabits another world, basically. Ever since she was a child, she had a really big imagination, and I think it's partly due to having a lot of time alone. She didn't really have, I don't know, not too many play dates like as a kid, and she like built things under the desk at her mom's job, and just developed a pretty big imagination, which is really cool for all kids who are like single children. I think we take for granted that space of being a little even lonely. Everything has its value, so that's Laine. And well, when she's on the trail, she falls and she hits her head and passes out. But while she is in her unconscious state, I guess you'd call it, she that's where she sort of goes into her fantasy of imagining she's a sheep and that she is basically in another world, but in prehistory, in Rome, or Rome before it was Rome. And she's encountering Romulus and Remus, but they are, I don't know, her version of them. Like, Romulus is just like her. He's very ambitious, but a little insecure, and he's trying to build a city, a great empire. He has that vision in him, just like she has, to build a novel, a fantasy novel, building that whole other world. So she's watching him as he struggles to believe in himself with a family that doesn't really understand him. So like, she's the black sheep, literally, when she goes into that other world. and he is also kind of, the quote-unquote black sheep of the family. And yeah, she just sees her mom and his mom and all the characters of her life kind of playing out in uh, this fantasy she's in, and she goes into it also she can heal from the traumas of her life, so the loss of her father and the heartbreak she experienced. She goes into this other mode, and it helps her to basically realize her higher self, which is Romulus as he develops and she watches him. So that's what I have for you today, and please join me again for another video. I should mention about Carl Jung. That's one of Laine's inspirations for sort of going into her psyche. She believes in what he believes is like the collective unconscious, which is basically when we sleep, all of our human psyches kind of intertwine, and I don't know, give us insights into our secret and some of our lesser qualities that we don't realize in waking hours. And we all have them, it's not anything to be ashamed of, but just being more self-aware of your own tendencies, self-doubts, jealousies, all the things, all the things that make up a human being are really present when we dream. So Carl Jung studied dreams, and Freud too, and they made interpretations based on other people's dreams. And I don't know, my only thought is that when we remember our dreams more, and when we try to maybe just feel what we were feeling when we were experiencing a dream, it's really helpful to point things out about ourselves in the direction we should take. So I encourage you guys, if you don't do that, to keep a dream journal, to meditate, and to just tune in more with nature or your intuitive self. All those things really help to understand better and to improve. So it's all about self-improvement. And I also want to say that Laine she kind of takes the collective unconscious a step further and applies it to animals too. Like, why not animals? Why don't they have a conscience too? I don't know, I think it just makes for a more humane world to think we all have a spark of the divine in us that's connected some way, all living things. And I don't know exactly, but the Atman, what the Hindus believe, that there's like a world soul. So I think there's something to that we all have a spark of the divine in us, that we're capable of, I don't know, expanding on and igniting within others and within all living things. So I hope this is helpful in any way to anybody. I look forward to maybe reading some more from my chapter, as well as explaining more on the characters and the philosophy behind it. So, ciao!